Welcome back to Sprague River Homestead. So we did it. If you can kind of hear, it's all echoey in here. The sunroom is completely, I guess, enclosed. I won't say completely dried in, but enclosed.
So in the background, you can hear the backhoe running. Dad and Kanan are out back working on some drainage. But we did get all the windows in the sunroom done today. You can kind of see they're pretty gross, so we'll have to go through and clean them out. Let me go down around the end and look at them again. Alright, and there is the backside. So, I guess the seal on these patio doors, because they're formerly patio doors that Dad had bought, and we pulled the frames off to use the glass. So it's actually 2 panes of glass, and the seals on some of these had broke and actually leak. So unfortunately we've got some water stains where they've gotten some water in between the 2 panes of glass. So we're going to have some stains in them, but not bad. If we decide we can't deal with it down the road, we'll end up probably pulling them out. But for now, they are in. So you can kind of see there is the whole thing. She's all done. So we'll have to do some work finishing everything. It's got to be painted, recalked. And then the work begins for me on the inside.
So here was the old exterior of the house. So it's painted green just like the outside. And I never really finished it because we had talked about starting to do a sunroom. So we're going to change this green, which is the exterior house green. And Nikki said she wants to change this to a lighter green or a blue. So the plan is to repaint all of this, and on the bottom pieces from the, I guess the roof line down, she's going to trim these out in some thin board that we're going to buy. She will also match that around the door, so it'll be a wood base kind of around the molding area of everything while everything else is painted. That light will go to the exterior of the sunroom, so we'll put in, probably cover that. And then we're going to put in, if I pan up here, we're going to put in a ceiling fan in here just to be able to move some air around. I will insulate the roof. We will do probably the same board as these walls here. So it'll be just plank board all the way across the ceiling. And what the plan is here is that we actually have 2 extra sheets of plyboard. So those will go up above the doors. So everything from basically here down will be the same plyboard, and then you have your doors and then your windows there. So yeah, again, got to be cleaned. You can obviously see there's some poorly cleaned windows, but everything else is there. It'll all be plyboard. We'll put on some kind of flooring here. That'll probably be later this winter, and this table will be taken out of here. We'll probably go with a smaller table, probably about the same height, but we're going to go get a table that, or make a table that is smaller this way and that way. This is actually a fire pit, so we're going to take this outside. This is an exterior one with tile in that, so that'll go back outside. On the outside here, what we're going to do is you can see the windows are white trimmed, so I've got white trim paint that I will trim out the exterior of these windows in white. And then we will paint everything else green to match. So it'll all match all the way over, up the eaves. Again, white is good. We'll match the green. And then again on the back of the house, you can see we'll do the white trim around the windows, and then we'll do green everywhere else, and it will all match. You probably won't know a difference once it's all done. You'll think, wow, everything's all the same because it's the same lot. We overbought on the paint here, knowing we were probably gonna have some extra. So everything will be the same lot of paint, so it won't have any color variations between everything, which will look fantastic. Now on the front of the house, we had previously mentioned that Nikki had redone the trim. I need to just clean this and paint it green. And then I told you about the drain box we put there, so as the water comes off the house, it will go down and we'll make sure it hits this drain box to make sure this area here is all landscaped, and will filter and kind of go down into this drain. So the project today is going to be to get the drain where it comes through the foundation, to get that plumbed into another drain box, which will match up from that roof. So as that comes down, I need to move the box down a little bit over about a foot, probably a little bit further down, somewhere in this range, to where I can actually put all the dirt in and make everything flow to that. The drain here will be connected. It'll run under the gas line into the drain, and I'll make sure all this is all leveled out. And then as you can see, this is all ditched out with the backhoe.
Alright, so over here in the backyard, you can see the guys are working and have ripped up the yard. So I think on the mudroom edition, Kanan had kind of showed where we had had some drainage issues, and we were going to reroute the drainage tube underneath the patio and then back out. So they're kind of underneath where the backhoe is. There's actually a pop-up drain where the water runs out, pops up, and then kind of flows back here to the back. All of that works just fine, but what happened is when we moved it from the mudroom and redid the part underneath the mudroom, we dropped the elevation of it a little bit. And then what we found is there's a little bit of a hump kind of right between these two trees here where sediment was catching up, so we weren't getting the water drainage that we had been. So the guys are just digging it all up so we can take the piping apart. We'll have to do some work at the top end underneath the mudroom to make sure it all connects. And then they're going to make sure that we've got good drop and elevation to make sure that it's all going to flow. No bumps, no lumps, no nothing. So that is what's going on in the backyard today.
So this is another project that Nikki worked on this week. She is going to make another one of these to film, but she made a dryer. So last year I know that she had kind of shown you guys how she was mixing up dried dandelion and things off the farm with hay, some commercial hay that we had got. And she was making some wintered rabbit, I guess, storage so that she can feed fresh forage, dried forage throughout the year. Well, to do a quantity that she wanted, she really needed more space. We had been doing it in the Harbor Freight greenhouse, but boy, she was just overloading that thing because we have so much vegetation available. So she made one of these earlier this week. This is a dryer that she made. Really, the wood is scrap other than the small pieces on top, the 2x2s. And she cut those down in that. And how this works is that you can just flip open the top, lay in your wet, fresh vegetables there. And this is just screen, so you can just get a roll of it, close the top down, and then just essentially leave it out for a couple days and let it dry. So it's got airflow top and bottom, no problem, and it kind of gives it nice a fresh press down in there. And you can see this stuff will do very well. So she's already got a bunch here in this tote. So you can kind of see there's grass already in there, and this is just fresh stuff we've just cut out of the garden, kind of what normal people would probably compost. We're actually just drying, so that will be mixed in there, and we might not have to use a lot of hay this year, but this is just all stuff fresh off there that she's preserving essentially for rabbits for the winter. Now here's another project that we worked on this week, or I did. I jumped in here a couple mornings before it got extremely hot in this dome. But both domes are now cleaned out. So these were overtaken with stuff from last year. Got all the beds cleaned out, all the walkways cleaned out, and the drum is pretty much full. We'll have to double check the level of water in that. But I can tell you what, just opening up this dome, the heat radiating out of here is crazy. It's only like 70 degrees today. And this dome is probably 100 to 110 easy. It is just radiating heat out of this thing. And then yesterday I also grabbed the screw gun, opened up these lines. We checked both of our lines are hydrants for the main garden plus here that run off the well. Those are ready to go. No leaks this year. I don't have to make any repairs. Those things are ready to go. Uh-oh. Looks like somebody there is about to put some stuff in the dryer. Let's go check this out. Shh. She's in her natural element. Am I so weird? So as you can see, she's just spreading out. Now this is just grass. You saw her over there kind of cutting and picking this off. Just laying it up flat as best she can. And then just let it dry. It'll sit out here in the sun and evaporate all the water out of it. Here's the dome or the hoop house greenhouse. You can see, I showed you guys this last week about how everything was taken off. Here's your collards. They are probably, what, 6 inches taller?
Oh, yeah, probably.
And then you got your lettuce. You've got other stuff sprouting. You have weeds taking off. You have pea pods growing all up the kind of the trellis here. Or your vine pieces, which is doing fantastic. Those guys are coming on strong. Starting to form pea pods. And then we still got to get all that kale out of there, but that'll probably go to the rabbits. We'll just blaze that off, dry it out, give it to the rabbits. And then you got chickens in here doing some work. Happy Sunday. We haven't got a lot done. Yesterday got really cold and windy, and it snowed overnight. So you can kind of see the truck there. Looking at the front of the windshield, you can see it's got snow on it because it's still in the shadows. But I can tell you, if you look around here, how much is running off the house. This is why Nikki put in that translucent there to block out. You can see everything is nice and dry. So how awesome is that? Proof positive that it does work. And the sunroom also is dry too. We started yesterday. You can see this is the girls' barn, or I guess the boys' barn, I should say. Boys' barn coming out. You have out there, Shy's out here. This fence line, if I pan around, used to run all the way out to the fence here. So we had a main pasture here. So we are taking this fence line, moving it in. So this inner yard is going to run all the way out to the fence and turn and go 90 degrees. We're going to move Shy over there. That way she can run the fence line down that way. And so we're going to cut out, make this guy's here. So this yard will be extended. So you can see where the trailer is down there. That yard is going to be opened up. And we're going to extend this out here to give them more grazing. You can see out here that I have a wild dog with a stick, but you can kind of see back in here that we have a lot of grass. This is compost from last year that we've let leach out and fertilize. So all of this now needs to be taken up. You can see there's a stack of panels out here, and we will make more yard this way. And these are panels we brought from the other side of the property. So yesterday we grabbed the tractor, took them all down, threw them on the forks, brought them over here. So we're gonna use the bobcat to drive the fence posts, and then we're gonna make all this yard come next week. So speaking of next week, what that's gonna entail is some concrete work at Nikki's parents, kind of a payback labor, helping them with their concrete work after helping us with ours for the mudroom and the sunroom. All of our 105 chicks are coming in for the meat birds. So all of you that put deposits on meat birds this year, those are supposed to show up Wednesday. So we're going to get all of that ready for them to grow them out for the next couple months before they are processed and delivered to our customers on those. But I'm going to leave you with this final thing. Well, I was going to show you that we had one new girl finally in the Nubians, but as I get over to the barn, I see this Spot. See the spot on her back? Spot just gave us this morning twin girls. So they are white and brown, just kind of like Mama. And Trixie, if I pan around here, Trixie over here in the corner, this Mama here gave us a nice, beautiful black and chocolate doe, a little girl. So that makes 3 girls now. There's one of our boys we call Moose, but we have 3 does over here in the Nubians so far. Good job, Mom. Good job. Take care of them babies today. So with that, we're gonna take the day off, run into town, get a couple errands done. And as you can see, it's never a dull moment around here. Just when you think you're gonna find one baby, you find 3 babies. So thankfully for that, we have a few more girls to kid out this year, and it's kind of getting cold, so we're gonna take the day off. But thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time here on Sprague River Homestead, and happy homesteading. Stay safe, stay warm, and get your gardens in. It's time to plant. See you next time.